important My Advertising Pays update webinar. Forgive me if I sound like I'm speaking deliberately, but we've got attendees now from all over the world with different speaking languages, so I am going to be speaking rather slowly and deliberately so that people have time to understand and translate. As we know, it goes without saying that members' confidence over the past few weeks has been somewhat low, obviously because the profit share has had some issues, as we're now aware of, and those problems will be sorted. So the intention is to go through where we've been, where we are and where we're going to this evening. Unfortunately, although profit share is not guaranteed, the company does expect to maintain a reasonable level of profit and therefore a healthy profit share for all our members. Due to the network market's current performance over the past 2 to 3 years, unfortunately all internet businesses are tarred with the same brush, and people are only too willing to obviously call these businesses because they don't understand and don't expect they're going to be here for too long. But for those people who are willing to take part in this exciting market, unfortunately, because of confidence, everybody's waiting for the next casualty, and obviously they've been concerned it could be MAP, or My Advertising Pays. But let me assure you all, ladies and gentlemen, that is not going to be the case. The purpose of this meeting today, or this evening, is to walk you through, like I said, where MAP has been and where it's going to. We've got Mike Deese. Mike Deese has had a little bit of technical issues this afternoon, and you may hear him come and go. He's going to try his best, but his signal's quite good where he is currently, unfortunately, but we'll try our best with Mike. So for those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting Mike, I can tell you he is a one-off in this industry. He's come from a business and Air Force disciplined background, and his drive for My Advertising Pays to succeed is unstoppable. As a personal friend, I can tell you of his desire for all our members to succeed in MAP where others have failed. He is a man of honour, honesty and integrity, and will never knowingly let anyone down. And as you'll hear on the webinar this evening, the only reason that profit share has been suffering over the past few weeks is simply technical difficulties that now MAP has endured and conquered. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to our CEO, Michael Deese. Hello, Michael. Can you hear us?
Hello, Tony. Thank you. Hey, man. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, Mike.
Hello. Okay, good. Hello, everybody, and thank you for attending this webinar, and thank you, Tony, for that introduction. We experienced obviously some pretty harsh realities over the last 3 or 4 weeks due to technical difficulties. We've been through this before, but it's never been quite this bad. And as Tony and all the rest of the executives know, I was just about ready to fire everyone because there's nothing more frustrating than having a pot of money that you're trying to share with a program, and the program just won't give it out. But I don't want to focus on that too much. I just want to let everyone know that we went to extreme measures to ensure that this type of thing never happens again, and as of now, everything's working and working actually better than it ever has, even since launch. So our program is back on track, and it's looking wonderful for us down the street. Everything is actually turned around. You know, I want to kind of go back to the grassroots of My Advertising Pays and where we came from and how we came to be. You know, I was an internet marketer before this, and had been involved in many programs, and to be honest, you know, well, I made my first dollar. Let me go back a little bit further. I made my first dollar in 2005, and when I made that dollar, I said, "Holy cow, you know, this is amazing." And then soon after, you know, a year later, I had made a good living for myself and had created this you know, this dynamic flow of different programs, and and different things going on in this team that was hanging with me, and then all of a sudden everything went under. And I'll tell you exactly how it went under. It wasn't due to any of the programs I was involved in. It was due to the main payment processor we used back then went under, and every one of the programs that I was involved in used that processor. So that was the end of it. I had to go back and find me a job after that. It devastated me. But then after that, I came around and I started getting back involved with network marketing, and there was just so many scams out there. You didn't know who to trust. Everything was, there was no transparency. There was, it was just emails and people hiding behind the names of companies. People going out and purchasing $300 scripts and putting their own graphics on it and calling it an original. The internet's just slammed full of those things, and one thing after another started to fall. A couple of years back, maybe about a year and a half ago, the internet marketing programs were having a really tough time, for the most part anyways. And a program failed one too many times with me, and I got tired, simply fed up and tired with people that I had led into these programs getting hurt. I could lose, $1,000 overnight, and it was not as big a deal to me as it was my teammate that put in $50, and they lost that $50. It was really hurtful and painful. And I stopped and I finally said, well, that's enough. And I know enough about this industry and about business in general that I'm gonna put something together. And it started with a few notes on a notepad, excuse me, and it blossomed from there. It took me a full year to put together my advertising pays, and it wasn't just me. It went from notes on a pad to actual actions, and it took a lot of sacrifice on my part. Tony and Lynn came about, and they were actually teammates in other business opportunities before my advertising pays, and when I told them that I was going to be creating a program of my own, they jumped up and said that they wanted to volunteer to help. So Tony and Lynn, as most of you know these guys, Tony and Lynn Booth, they have been with me side by side ever since the beginning of my advertising pays, and they can attest to the fact that I went through a whole lot to get this program off the ground, but I refused to let it launch until it was right. I could have launched months earlier than what I did, but I had to ensure that every T was crossed and every I was dotted, and that's exactly what I did. So basically the point of this story is that, my advertising pays was born out of scams online. There's a lot of things that can come up overnight, and they're gone like thieves in the night the next few months down the road. And my advertising pays is completely different than that. I created this program to put the users first and to pay our members, according to the actions that they do online. And the same things that they do every single day. Everybody comes on, we all visit websites, we all just kind of browse around for the most part, and that's what my advertising pays is. We created a site where people must log in and do an action and therefore put their eyes on our site and our advertisements. And that is what fuels the flame of the success of our site. It was well thought out. We have many people in the background always working to get a corner on different markets and different angles and different types of advertisements. This first year, we've been online almost a year now. December 13th will be 1 year. And this entire year, we've been building on our foundation. We're making sure that everything and all the parts of my advertising pays works correctly. And this last bit that we had with the profit share was really kind of the last straw, as it comes to building on our foundation. Once we've got that correct and we actually have a contingency plan on what to do when to do it, then that's no longer an issue. So we have our foundation built. You know, all the advertisements works, the traffic exchange works. Simply put, people are making sales on our site every single day. So everything is put together, and we have a really strong foundation now. We have a lot of leaders in Europe, in Germany, in France, all over the world that are, you know, holding hotel meetings. They're holding training sessions. Just take your pick. If you're not a member of our Facebook page, look us up on Facebook, and you'll see many meetings and many different things going on around the world, so you can actually shake some hands of people that have been involved with MAP since the beginning. So we've got a lot of different things going on. So whenever the year rolls around, the beginning of next year is the beginning of a new era, and that is the beginning of the time in which we're going to focus on new products and new advertising for our site and start moving up towards corporate level advertising. There's a lot of exciting things in the works. We actually already have a corporate partner that most of you do not know about, and you know, for privacy purposes, I won't mention their name, but they have already contracted and are on our site, and they've contracted for the last 8 months, actually. So they're about 2 months into their second contract, and we've got a lot of these deals working in the back behind the scenes, so that we can keep our site with a reasonable level of profit. So therefore, we can share it out to all of you guys that do your part in coming to our site, logging in, and looking at those 10 ads. And if you see something you're interested in, of course, taking action on it. Our next product is huge. I'm very, 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 very excited about this. We haven't quite nailed down a name for it yet, but I'm thinking that we're going to call it MAP's Fortune Wheel. And basically, this is a new advertising product similar to guaranteed visitors. You know, whenever we open up our guaranteed visitors for sale, within 2 hours or an hour or so, they sell out. That means that we sell over 100,000 hits within 2 hours, which makes my advertising pays about $10,000. So they're very popular. And why are they very popular? Because people that use them are repeat customers. They come back and they want more because they're making sales. And that is the type of value that we're offering with our products. I love testimonials when people come and say, oh my goodness, I bought one credit pack, I applied my 500 credits, and I've made a sale and have 10 people on my list. How cool is that? It's amazing. And not only that, you start, you know, you get to share in the profits of the company as well. So, but the Fortune Wheel is going to be similar to guaranteed visitors, except for it's going to be very, I don't know, very interactive. It's going to be similar to the Wheel of Fortune. If you've ever watched Wheel of Fortune with Pat Sajak and Vanna White in America, it's going to be very similar to that, where the viewers of the ads will come on. They'll get to spin a wheel, or they'll look at a site for 10 or 20 seconds. Then they'll get to spin a wheel, and then they have a chance to hit a jackpot. And the jackpot comes from every package of those guaranteed visitors that is sold. A portion of that will come off the top and go into the jackpot. And the jackpot, once it gets over $100, $200, whatever it is, it will randomly give out to one of the people spinning the wheel. So it may actually give out 2 or 3 jackpots a day. We don't know yet. We're not real sure exactly what the numbers are going to be in terms of sales on that product, but I'm very excited about it, especially since the guaranteed visitors sell out so quickly. These guaranteed visitors, you'll be getting double the product for less of a price. Not only that, whomever purchases the most visitors in a month will get 30% cash back. So whatever they've spent on those guaranteed visitors, they'll get 30% of that money back, and it'll go straight into their available account balance on the first of the month. Now, all the prizes on the wheel, it's got anything from 1 penny all the way up to the jackpot. And any one of those prizes that are hit when you spin the wheel immediately goes to your available balance, and you can withdraw it as long as you have $10 in there. So we've got a lot of exciting things. I'm very excited about this. This has been in the works for the last few months now. It's been in development for at least 5 months, and it's a huge undertaking. It's almost like a site within itself, and this is just one avenue that we're taking in terms of new products and services. And all of these new products and services is for the benefit of MAP and her members, which are all loving the way we do business. You log in, you click 10 sites, you get paid, and you tell your friends and family or whoever about the amazing benefits that we offer. Even people that have never done network marketing before can come to our site and just take a look around. If they purchase one credit pack, before 6 months is out, I can guarantee you those guys are going to be part of are going to be a member of one of your programs that you're advertising on the site. We promote entrepreneurship. We love it. We've been doing this for a long time. I wouldn't have it any other way. And we're happy that we can provide the services and the revenue streams that we've been able to provide for you over the last year. I want to talk a little bit about our financial position. MAP is strong and has been every single month that we've been online ever since launch last December the 13th. We've made more sales than we have paid in withdrawals, which is the way that my advertising page was designed mathematically. And so that's even last month, whenever things got bad and the profit share stalled and some people jumped off a cliff or something, it was actually we still did more sales than we had withdrawals. So everything's looking great. My advertising page has never been stronger. We have the partnership of a brilliant payment processor in VX Gateway. They support us 110%. I actually have a meeting with the owners about once every other day, speak with them through email regularly, at least daily, and they're steady going around in Europe trying to find different countries to participate, and opening banks for you guys. They're trying to get a MasterCard or something so you can make your withdrawals directly from an ATM or what have you. They're working on a lot of different things as well. So we're very excited to have the stability of those guys on board. It's 100% safe as far in terms of if you've ever dealt with PayPal or any other payment processor, every now and then they'll lock your funds up for no apparent reason. So we have no chance of that happening with VX Gateway, and that is definitely offers some peace of mind. So I just wanted to bring everybody on here today to bring everyone up to speed, to let you all know that we're just trucking along in the back office. We're steady coming up with new ideas and different avenues that we can take, because as one of our leaders often says, this is just the start. We've been building on our foundation, and now that my advertising page has a really strong foundation and great leaders all over the world, we're ready to take this this company to the next level and start transforming the world of advertising. So I appreciate you guys listening to me. Hopefully that my signal was strong enough that you were able to hear my voice throughout this. So I'm going to turn it back over to Tony.
Yeah, Mike, your signal was fantastic, actually. Your voice came over extremely well. Thank you very much for that, Mike. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard Mike Deese there. He was on full flow tonight, and I'll tell you what, the guy's excited for everybody. It's not just about Matt. You people out there are my advertising page, and Mike Deese is just as excited as the little person that earns an extra 10 or 15 pounds a week or $20 a week. He is so excited about that, you just wouldn't believe it. So, what I'm going to try and do now is run through some current issues in the marketplace and understand why is my advertising page so successful. I'm going to expand on a few things that Mike has already touched upon there in his brief conversation. But foolishly, many people in the online world believe that they can click a mouse and money just arrives in your pocket. And in many ways, that's really how it appears. And people can see that because all they're looking at really is a computer-generated image on a screen that has buttons on it. You click the buttons and it totals up numbers in a little box somewhere, and when you want to withdraw, there it is. There's a little bit more to it than that, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure many of you intelligent people out there will realise that. So, because it looks that simple, unfortunately many people therefore think it's very easy to copy it and expect the same success that My Advertising Page is now experiencing, because the world is sitting up and listening to us, obviously. But a great idea has no chance at all without the right management and leadership skills to start and carry this business through to become a successful business venture. And that's what we're currently at, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just getting to that point now where we're now becoming a serious business. At this moment in time, we're still a baby. We're less than 1 year old, but we're now reaching that stage where we can start to get up and walk, yeah? And then pretty soon we're going to be running down the track, and many people will be wondering what the bloody hell happened with this company, and where they came from nowhere to become what they are today. And My Advertising Page, ladies and gentlemen, is a serious business, and it's got some big goals to achieve, not for us, but for you guys. The goals Mike has set are there for all its members. So, like I said, why is it successful? Well, Mike touched on the fact that we've got the greatest product in the world. We've got a sales platform that's proving to be phenomenal. It's proved itself time and time again, and the simple statistics alone outshine every other form of advertising that's currently available on the internet. As Mike said, it was a year in planning, and believe you me, that year had probably about 5 years worth of effort, energy and thought that went into before the launch of MAP. And as Mike said, he steals my word because I cross T's and dot I's, but what he does that, and that's exactly what he did. He was absolutely convinced that it had to be right before he was prepared to launch it and let you guys have a look at it. As he said, he didn't just do it on his own. He involved credible mathematicians and engineers to build the program. And that's a strength when you realise that when you're at the edge of your limitation, you have to then look towards others. And that's exactly what he did to build the actual mechanics of the program, which is why it is so robust. When anybody approaches the market with an internet company, the first thing everybody wants to do is knock it and say that it's not compliant. The legal people are going to be coming after this company and close it down. Let me tell you this. We employed the best legal representatives in the world to ensure that we were compliant before we started. And as you'll all see, when you decide to join My Advertising Page, you cannot purchase a single product until you tick all the boxes that are terms and conditions that you have to agree to. And let me assure you, that means that we are a compliant company because you have complied with the laws that are laid down for this type of industry. Not just that, it's had a lot of money put into it. It wasn't, as Mike said, a $300 program. There are cheaper programs actually that you can purchase off the shelf, and as Mike said, you dress it up, make it look like your own, and away you go. And unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, these days the internet allows those companies in a very short space of time to generate millions of dollars. Where does it come from? It comes from your pockets. This program wasn't a $250 program off the shelves. As you've heard from Mike, many hours and stressful time went into ensuring that the program was working before it was released to the public. Our support staff, we've got a number of support staff now. Jets, you'll know, Kerry, Marguerite, Sophie, and a number of others. We've got Nick Darlington. They're excellent, and they are the envy of the industry out there because people now recognise how good the support is, how quickly support tickets get answered, but more importantly, those support answers that come back to you They're not brushing you off. They're actually telling you either what's wrong or what's right, or how to put it right, more importantly. As Mike also said, we also have the support of an excellent payment process, a VX Gateway, and it's important that any business has that facility. Now, why do many companies not have the support of the payment processor? Well, simply, they haven't got a credible business plan, and more importantly, they haven't got the funds in place to cover the company's liabilities. Let me assure you now, without that being so, with My Advertising Pays, we could not have a payment processor like VX Gateway. And they're more than happy with everything they know about My Advertising Pays, and they're more than comfortable to act for us on your behalf to make sure the money transfers successfully from MAP into your accounts. And that brings us on to another topic. A lot of people scream about a program when things go wrong, but the most important fact, and let me make this absolutely crystal clear, the most important fact is, do you get paid? And 100% of our members, when they make a payment request, the money transfers into their account. Not in 3 weeks, not in 3 months, but within 24 hours of you making that request. It will arrive in your payment processor to be diverted to whatever account you wish to use. And that's the most important fact, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're all here for. We're all here to make money. And when a company isn't paying out, that's when there's a real problem. Let me tell you, that isn't the case with My Advertising Pays, and it never will be. The final point I'm going to make before I hand you over to some leaders, we've got a few leaders coming on this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and they're going to give you their understanding of the industry, what things are all about in the industry, and what their impression is of My Advertising Pays. And they're not members of the support team or the administration of My Advertising Pays, ladies and gentlemen. Many people think they are because they are prolific leaders. But let me tell you, they're no different than you and anybody else out there. They're affiliates that have become leaders, have become greatly successful. Why? Because they know what they're doing, and they're out there to teach you guys to do the same. We have a very strong, experienced business management team with a proven track record that have navigated the company through many difficulties. The latest one we've seen, ladies and gentlemen, and we've been all aware of that, but believe you me, there's been a number of other issues in the past 10 months that have been navigated through because of the skill of our management team. And you don't necessarily see them. But as Mike pointed out to you earlier, it wasn't a management issue that was a problem with the profit share. It was simply a technical issue, and that was out of the management control. And therefore we had to rely on our technical people to get it right, and that's exactly what they've done. They have got it right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce you to Mark Dobrell. He's a good friend of Lynn and myself, and we've known him quite a while now, and he's going to run you through his impression of this industry right now. So, welcome, Mark.
All right, thank you, Tony. You able to hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. All right, wow, I have the pleasure of addressing everyone today, and I'm going to take a slightly different approach in terms of what I'm here about. What I'm here about is really to share my personal insight, what I've observed in the industry. I believe although MAP management will agree with a lot of this, this is really coming from myself. And, you know, you can take the advice or leave the advice. It's up to you. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. But hopefully what I say will resonate with you and your teams. And one of the first things I want to cover is what I personally have observed is far too many so-called leaders wanting to lead people to the shiny new object over and over and over again. And, you know, for me, that's a big mistake. I don't work that way. The way I work is I get involved in an opportunity, I involve people in that opportunity, and I stick with that opportunity until I'm successful. Now, once I've had a level of success, and if I choose to go on to a second opportunity, I then find a new group of people to work in that opportunity with, or I wait until people in the current opportunity I'm in have got to a level of success where they are now ready to move into a second opportunity. Far too often I've seen people being simply mishmashed, rolled over and over into all different opportunities. To me, number one, you're spreading your focus. Number two, you're spreading your resources over a number of different opportunities. And how can you ever be successful? I can promise you that the most successful leaders in this industry never ever did it that way. They always focused on one opportunity and got successful at it, and then once they moved on to additional streams. This kind of leads me into, we live in a world today where there are a lot of opportunities on the internet. For example, you can look at MAP, and we can compare that to another well-known opportunity, which I'm not going to identify by name, but it does have the initials AHP. And I'm sure you can figure out who that is. Now, on the surface, those programs look identical. But as Mike stated and pointed out, they're not the same. There's an element of that program in there, but there are so many things working underneath. And from a leadership standpoint, if you've found something where, number one, you've got an owner who's transparent, you've got an owner who's committed to doing the right thing, regardless of what you might read online about things, the bottom line is there's haters for almost any program, and that's fine. Let them say what they're going to say. I never focus on that stuff. I never pay attention to it. What I pay attention to is the actual results. And if the results are such that you're getting them and you're in a great program, and there's going to be glitches here and there. Now, part of the mistake in what we've done in the past in some of our programs, we allow mistakes to go on too long. We allow stories to go on too long, and we stick in something thinking, wow, this is never going to get better. Obviously, MAPS has proven to us time and time again that they're not here to feed us a bunch of lines and just, keep us interested while they kind of figure out how to fix things. For me, that's the biggest thing. I've seen a company that reacts to the problems, that actually fixes the problems. And Mike, I'm very impressed with the fact that he has very long-term plans. And believe me, you may not see it, but he meticulously plans every last detail and puts contingencies in place so that they don't happen again. And we certainly have seen that in the technology. So you have to be, and listen, if you are not a leader, but you are somebody following a leader, and you're being kind of whisked from program to program to program, you have to question the intention of what's going on and why that's being done. And as I say, if you haven't had a level of success in MAP, that's not to say that you can't do other programs, but why are you doing other programs? Why are you spreading your focus so thin and your resources so thin? Because it's always a promise of money, and I can assure you folks that money has very little to do with it in the beginning. It's all mindset, 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 and until you focus your energies on one thing and you get successful at it, you are not going to have success in anything else you do, because you'll always be jumping for the next shiny new thing. And trust me, been there, done that. I've learned, and I've taken that advice to heart. So, okay, what makes you a leader is solid principles and guidance. I'm always focused on a single opportunity. If I have a group of people in there, until they reach a certain level of success, I'm not even going to think about putting them into a second opportunity. So this is something that I believe we need to really think about when we're guiding people and when we're, running with them. And the other thing I've heard leaders say, which I just shirk when I hear it, we know out and out this is not a lasting program, so just get in, get your money back out, and ride the wave. How many have ever heard that before? Well, you see, here's the problem. The problem is if you start doing stuff like that, you're going to gain a reputation. And if you're a small guy and you got a few people following you, guess who's going to get burned in the end? Those other people that you brought in. Somewhere along the line, somebody is going to get burned. And that reputation is going to fall on you. Once again, I've had that happen personally. Built a large organization for a couple of years. Kept saying, oh, things are going to get better. Don't worry, it's happening. They're doing this, they're doing that. And in the end, guess who's left with egg on their face? Not the owner of the program, not the creator of the program. Well, certainly they do, but more importantly, the leaders who had nothing to do with setting that program up, had nothing to do with the administration, are left with, egg on their face. And I'm personally tired of that. I'm tired of having a tarred reputation because I promoted a program I believed was good, program that I believed was solid, and in the end, you end up with a tarnished reputation. And let me tell you, that is worth no money in the world. There's no amount of money that someone could pay me that would compensate me for having a tarnished reputation. Now, thank goodness I have a solid reputation with friends and family and the people that know me. For whatever else goes online, I really couldn't really care because none of those people know me personally, so it really doesn't matter. I don't hate them. I have nothing against them. I think that if people are going to make judgments based on someone they don't even know, it doesn't say a whole lot about their character. So basically what I want to do is I want to touch on cross-recruiting. That's the other point. What is cross-recruiting? Now, Mike is very clear. This program is designed to be used with other programs. Nothing wrong with that. But there is a clause, if you go and read in all those terms and conditions Tony spoke about, and it has to do with cross-recruiting. And anybody in this industry understands cross-recruiting. And what that means is that if you're in a, well, there's two definitions of it. First of all, kind of two definitions. What Mike speaks about in the terms and conditions has to do with
Mark,
yes.
Can I just interrupt? We just need to get Rainer. Rainer's ready to jump on as soon as you can just finish up, bud.
Oh, sure. I'll just finish up.
Yeah, we've got Rainer and then we've got Duncan.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's my cue to get this done. So cross-recruiting or joining similar programs, there is a term and condition. I would just caution everybody, and not because Mike doesn't want you to get into other programs, but what doesn't want to happen is you don't want to get into other programs that, as Tony said, look and feel like MAP, but in the end, there's no substance underneath it, and once again, you tarnish reputation. So that's number one. And number two, the cross-recruiting. Look, if you're in MAP and you're there because somebody introduced you to MAP, and then you get put, say, into a group where there's other members that were introduced by other MAP members, it's not cool to go and spam a room with another link trying to attract other MAP members. That's why you have the traffic exchange. That allows you to essentially cross-recruit because that's what the traffic exchange is. It's an expectation that you're going to post a link for whatever opportunity you're in, and you're able to go do that. So to go into a room where there's MAP members and start basically spamming a link, that's not a cool thing to do. And it's not a cool thing to just get a group of MAP members and try to recruit them all, because guess what you're doing? You're only looking out for your own pocketbook. You really couldn't care about those people. You don't even know them. And again, this is just advice that I have from me to you. Choose to accept that advice, choose to use it, or choose to reject it. That's completely on you. So Tony, I will put this back over to yourself, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on the webinar.
No problem. Thank you very much for that. We've now got Rainer Boyd, one of our great German leaders, and I have to say this guy has got an incredible history behind him. And when we first met him, like all Germans, they're full on. He's a fun guy. We've all had a lot of laughs with Rainer, but believe you me, he knows this industry inside and out. And he's going to come on tonight. Thank you very much, Rainer, and he's going to give his views on the current state of play. Are you there, ready?
Hello everybody, hello Mike, Tony, and then hello from Cologne, Germany, the nicest town in the whole world. Let me tell you my little story in a few minutes. I'm really proud to be a member of MAP since the 3rd of February 2014. One of my first highlight with MAPS was a visit in springtime to meet Tony, Lynn and Mike. Fantastic people. So we come back, I visited this company with Daniel, and we come back with so much confidence. We decided to bring this business much and strong to Germany. We want to make it real popular in the German-speaking countries, so Austria and Switzerland again. And I'm really proud to work with guys like Andreas Zenker, Daniel, or Alex Vitoku, who helped me to make this business in these countries very popular. I think MAPS is growing in Germany fast, and we are very strong too. The most important thing is what Tony told us a few minutes before. Everybody, really 100% of the people are earning money. Isn't it awesome? You can go and tell this fantastic business everybody. You know, MAPS is a startup, and not every startup has one way only up. There are ups and downs, but the way how Mike and the team solved the problems in the harder time, in the time where a lot of pressure is on them, yeah? They do it by a fantastic way. This gives us the power, the courage and the enthusiasm to refer and to buy more, like the slogans, like Simon telling everybody. Yeah? And I hope if everybody do that, everybody has the confidence to work with MAPS for long term, to be strong and tell it to the people, we will have a lot more of 1,200 PAX owners who are financial free. And this is the hope and my aim, my personal goal for everybody in my team to become financial free. I'm looking forward to all the good things Mike told us what is coming up in the next week. The foundation is made and the business works very perfect. I'm looking forward to the big event in Germany on next Saturday. Like Mike told, we have leaders in Germany and all around the world who organize these meetings, and we expect 200 people for this big event on this weekend. I'd like to say thank you to Michael, Deese, Lynn and Tony and all the other staff who is working so excellent on this company to make this fantastic job. I like to say thank you to all these people, 70,000 people in this community who makes this company so strong worldwide. That's fantastic. I really can say, and believe me people, MAPS changed my life too. I wake up with MAPS, I go into my bed with MAPS with my pad and watch it every day, and I know thousands and thousands of people do the day. It is addicted. I really can say I do not refer people. I help people, very special people, to become another life, a better life, with the help of my advertising page. And I tell you, please do the same, help other people to earn money. Thanks Tony, thanks Lynn for letting me speaking in this webinar. I'm so proud of it, and you know, I'm a mapper through and through, and I will go all the way with Mike. Have a nice day together, come together, I love maps. See you in London guys, a few of us, and I tell you, have a lot of fun. Bye-bye from Germany.
Thank you very much, Rainer, and we'll be looking forward to it too. We can't wait to see you again in London. And thank you, Rainer, for taking this business so seriously out there in Europe, because you are doing an amazing job, and we have to give you credit for that as well. Thank you very much, Rainer. And also I'll give our regards to Andreas as well. Okay, guys, we're looking now for Duncan. We're going to bring Duncan Wood on. He's another prolific leader in the UK, and Duncan's one of those professionals that treats this industry with the greatest of respect, and we have a great respect for him. So Duncan, I'm just going to unmute you when I find you on the list. Here we go. Hi, Duncan.
Good evening, Tony. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Can hear you very well, thank you, Duncan.
Good. Well, just to tell people a little bit about my background, I live in North Wales. I've been involved in multi-level marketing, internet marketing for quite a few years, along with traditional business. I've had great success, but I've also had lots of disasters like a lot of people. I've been let down by a lot of companies, and I actually came across Maps a year before it started, because I was fortunate to meet the two people that you're hearing tonight, Tony and Lynn Booth, through another business. We became very good friends. They actually came, well, we were invited to their house and they came around here, and we became very good friends. And what I saw was two genuine, down-to-earth, honest, successful people. But they were also looking for something like I was at the time. And through a conversation I had with Lynn, she was actually following Mike Deese as a blogger at that time. And she mentioned to me one day about Mike had made a statement online that he was fed up with promoting companies that were letting people down, and he decided to do it himself. And I said to Lynn, well, I don't know who this guy is, but you know, if he does what he says he was going to do, let me know and keep me informed. And I kept in touch with Tony and Lynn over that year, and they kept telling me that Mike was doing what he said he would do. And sure enough, a year later, on the 13th of December, my advertising page was launched, and I joined it that day. But I made a mistake. I was actually involved with a business at the time which was taking up a lot of my time, and I didn't actually fully get started with it. In January, that business was another one that let me down. So I saw what was going on with Maps and decided I needed to give it the attention that it deserved. And I can honestly say that was the best decision I did. I started off with 40 credit packs. I started then just talking to a few friends, sharing them, and they took it up. And I can honestly say, without doubt, that this is, without question, the best internet marketing business I have ever been involved in. It is incredible. I am just about to hit the 1,200 credit packs. It's taken 10 months. It seemed like when I first started, I actually set myself a goal of reaching 600 credit packs, and the reason why I did that, I like to set goals. I actually asked my wife, what are our overheads per month? And I decided to use MAP as a plan just for my own goal to pay all my bills each month. So I saw my goal as 600 credit packs, and I actually worked it out that even if Maps only paid out 1% per day per credit pack, that would pay all my bills every month. So that was my goal. I decided, right, let's focus to achieve the 600 credit packs. When I got to the 600 credit packs, I couldn't believe how fast this business was growing, and I quite easily worked out that by October I would reach that 1,200 credit pack stage, which, to be honest, when I first started seemed like years away. In actual fact, I didn't quite achieve it by the end of October, but I will achieve it in 2 days' time. I know that for certain. So without doubt, this is, without question, the best business I've ever been involved in. The people that are involved in it are the best, without doubt. Mike, you know, Lynn was absolutely right. I remember when they came out to visit you, I phoned them up and I wanted to know, was Mike as good as he seemed? And without question, they were absolutely right. So it is without doubt the best business I've ever been involved with. And I just want to say one thing. One thing I love about this business, it's so simple, anybody can do it. I have got people that have never had success in any business they've ever been involved in, but everybody in it can click on 10 ads a day and they all make money. So I am so excited about what's happening and what's happening to other people in this business, and what you've just told us tonight, Mike, about what you've got planned for next year. I can't wait for next year. So thanks very much. Hand you back to Tony.
Thank you very much for that, Duncan. Thanks, Duncan. That's great. And there you've heard, ladies and gentlemen, from another great leader in this industry, and he has got many years' experience. And it's not all good, you know, there's pain along the way, but it's a learning curve. But what I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this business is for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you've never been involved with network marketing, or indeed you're a leader like Duncan, a prolific leader that will make it work for them anyway. This business suits everybody. And Duncan rightly pointed out, it is the best because we are the best at what we do. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, the world is now sitting up and listening to what's going on in my advertising page. And that can only mean one thing for you guys. It means that you're going to be successful, because pretty soon my advertising page will become a household name, and you won't need to go out recruiting. You'll be literally holding people back from the door. So let's get on with the business, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to wish you all well. I think we're going to wrap it up now, unless anybody else got anything to say. Mike, have you? Is there anything you need to go over? We might have lost him. His signal's not been good.
No, I'm good, Tom.
All right, mate. Thank you very much, then, and let's wrap it up, and we'll see you on the next event, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for attending this evening. Take care and goodbye.